Okay, wonderful. Everybody, welcome. Let's get started. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys today. It is the 5th of April. My name is Yaroslav Burchenko, and together with Olymp Trade, we wish you guys hello and welcome to this webinar. Also, I want to give a warm welcome to Angie. Hello. She will be supporting us in chat. And yes, there is a poll about which kind of indicators you use. As you can see on my screen, this is my average day-to-day setup, and I do have 2 oscillators on there, so it is for sure very helpful. Mustafa Nouri, hello and welcome, my friend. Good to see you, sir. And Lawrence Anadon, hello and welcome. Osama Ben Yassi, Ashu Sagar, good to have you guys with us today. So before we get too far ahead, if I can just get an understanding if you guys can hear me and see me, all you have to do is write a plus in chat. That way I know that the information is coming to you. Now, we are going to be trading on the FTT mode today because this strategy predominantly works well in that space. And this is a super easy and effective strategy. We're going to be using the trio strategy. It works on lower time frames, so we're going to go ahead and drop down to the 1 minute time frame. And you can use actually anything. Actually, I'll go up to the 5 minute. You can use anything in between 5 minutes to say 1 hour. And of course, I will trade in the lower time frame so that you guys can get an understanding of the logic behind the trade strategy. Now, the recommended amount of time, the duration, is 2 times of what your time frame is. I'm going to cheat a little bit and keep it at 5 and drop down the strategy to about 1 minute. The reason is so that we can get more of these trades. Now, another thing that I do want to remind you guys, we kind of had this question from last stream, is that during these streams I make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maximum trades. And so whenever you see the kind of negative dynamics, so last stream I started with 60,000 and I ended the stream with 59,000, and somebody in the comments section, and rightly so, they pointed out that, hey, you went negative. Well, the only reason I went negative is because I took that extra trade off the cuff using my personal discretion. In the long term, as you can see, my personal discretion brings me money. But in like really quick bursts, especially in lower time frames and especially under stress of doing a webinar, the results are slightly skewed against me. So that is like the opposite of edge. It's a hindrance to my own performance. And so I just want to remind you guys that the trades that you see here are primarily for educational purposes. This is not a guide that you should follow. If you want some trades that you guys should follow, then tune in next Thursday, not next Thursday, but this Thursday when we have the VIP department. All they do is trade live. All they do is look at the calendar and then give you trade ideas. So this is more of an educational format where you can see how people make mistakes. You can see how to use the indicator without actually making those mistakes yourself, right? So as long as we're on the same page. I want to go ahead and check in with you guys in chat, see if there's anything that I missed. Awesome. Thank you guys for your pluses. Methan Tanwar, Mehat Rajiv, thank you guys so much. And wonderful Angie, thank you so much for your input. So let's go ahead and take a quick moment to speak about how to put the strategy on your screen. So you can find your strategies right here if you click under chart types, or excuse me, here under indicators. Fantastic, fantastic. So of course, my platform got bugged. Give me 1 sec, I'm going to unbug it. So whenever this does happen to you, so have a look at this. I don't have the indicators, oh, here it is, trading strategy. Panicking. So open up your trading strategies. So right here under the indicators button, we have down here a new tab called trading strategies. Go ahead and click that and look for the trio strategy right here on FTT. Trio strategy is set, and all you have to do is click enable. Now, I definitely recommend, you can find this trade strategy right here in the market, and that's definitely where I recommend, right here in the market tab, I recommend going there to get it. Actually, there's a bunch of different themes as well. Oh, I'm so excited to try them out. But basically, you can find the different strategies right here. And definitely, I recommend it. It's worth the price. And what you get is the ease of use. With one button, I clicked and it changed the RSI. Right here, you put on the Williams percentage R as a histogram, and the CCI indicator, which I had. It programmed all of the parameters for you ahead of time. So yeah, it's very helpful, very easy to use, and once again, it's set up for you right away, so you're not going to make any mistake in programming the parameters for the indicators. Now, that's basically where you can find it. You can find it in the market. Subscribe to it, or you can skip the market if you already have purchased the strategy and just go ahead and put it on like I did. As you can see, it applies these three indicators: the RSI, Williams percentage R, and the CCI, the Commodity Channel Index. I'm not going to go through the details of the parameters. You guys can see them there, but basically the Williams R, if it appears differently for you, that's because we changed some of the parameters right here. Out of these oscillators, like many oscillators, we have an overbought zone, which is right here at the top, and we have an oversold zone, which is right here at the bottom. So with the Williams percentage R, it's basically how far it gets away from the zero line. With the CCI and RSI, you actually have very easily understandable areas right here at the top and at the bottom of the graph. On the Williams percentage R, everything above -20 is overbought, and everything below -80 is oversold. That's just, for your information. What does it mean when I say overbought and oversold? That's a really good question if any of you guys are thinking that right now. When an indicator line is in the overbought or oversold area, it means that the price is too high to attract new buyers. A lot of robots, a lot of algorithmic trading is based upon price being overbought and oversold. And so this is just a signal whenever we are overbought. It's a signal that maybe it may be a good time to sell or position yourself for a sell trade. If we are at the bottom and we're entering from bottom to top, that's a signal to enter a buy trade. Correct. If you thought buy trade, you were absolutely correct. But that's not all. We need the signal to appear at least in 2 out of these 3 indicators, period. So this is layer upon layer upon layer of confirmation, and that's the way that I trade, and that's the way that I recommend you guys to trade. Is you want to have different layers of confirmation. Now, of course, you should be using fundamental analysis. Of course, you should be looking at and following the geopolitical scene, the monetary policy scene, especially if you're trading the US dollar like we have on the screen, and anything else that can assist you in your trading will just be another layer to your expertise and to the trading strategy that you may be using. So let me give you an example of some crosses and when you can sell and when you can buy. So on the basic dollar index, which is a great tool, it's an indicator in and of itself, but you can also trade it, especially if you're privy to the financial policies of the United States, of the European Union. You can really get a lot of value from looking at the basic dollar index and maybe even trading it. So a good entry point that I see right here would be, let me do one more thing here. If I can set up the upper band and lower band, that'll be easier for me. So what we just in the short term, what we saw today on the 5-minute graph, we can see that a good entry point was right here. So we hit the top, and we've already been, when the indicator crosses over into that area, into the overbought area. So starting from right here on you can see on the relative strength index and the CCI that we have broken out to the top. That's when you start paying attention. So normally as a trader, you're sitting like this on your phone, you're looking at the different assets, you click an asset, you look at the graph, or excuse me, like this, you click an asset, look at the graph, and you're basically looking for those signals when you should start paying attention. And so you go through the list of say 80-90% rate of returns, you write them out, and or you remember them, and then you go back through them and you continue watching for areas like this. Now, an area like this, you see where we have a minor breakout, that's not so interesting to me in this strategy. But what is interesting to me is these huge breakouts right here, this really long breakout, this massive breakout, and especially if one of those indicators starts to show divergence. This is what divergence is, guys. You see how this is going down? The basic dollar index was going down in the morning, but the CCI, the commodity channel index, this very bottom oscillator, started going up. So that's a clue. That's a clue that we are changing direction to the top side. And that's a clue that you should watch when the other oscillators give you those buy signals. You should enter. And that's what I want you to be looking for when you use the trio strategy. It's very powerful, and it allows you to get rid of junk trades. It allows you to ignore low probability trades. And that's what we want. That's what we are looking for as traders. We want to increase the probability. So if you have 3 of these oscillators going in your favor, that's obviously a trade you want to take. So the perfect example for a buy trade is when we broke out to the bottom, I start paying attention, right? I start thinking that this is exactly the trade that I want to be in the next few minutes. And then when we have a cross to the top side, so right around this candle, and look how perfectly these oscillators work. Like I said, I use the CCI to confirm my trades, and we have the Williams percentage R and RSI giving us fantastic entry points. If you were to enter, being prepared that this would soon end, if you were to enter this for the next 10 minutes, so if we have 1, 2, even anywhere in the next 10 to 15 minutes, your trade would have been profitable. Same thing from the other side. We have a massive breakout to the top, and then we have a confirmation that both the RSI, Williams percentage R, and CCI in the very next candle breaking down into it. That's a really good trade to take. So this would have been using this signal and this signal, those would have been fantastic trades to take. Now, I hope my explanation was clear and you guys understand how the strategy works. Now it's time to look for some signals. Let's go down our list. So right now with the RSI, or excuse me, with the way the basic dollar index is working, the RSI did not break down into oversold territory, so it kind of we kind of lost that signal, whereas the CCI and Williams percentage R are actually almost giving us that sign. See how the CCI has not yet reached in there? I really recommend following the signal to the T, especially if you're quite new to trading. You've only been trading, for a few years, 1 to 2 years. I recommend sticking with the indicators because they're there to give you that consistency. They're there to give you that confidence that you're doing the right thing, that you're following the rules, and it'll help you, not only psychologically but your bottom line. The more closer you follow to your trading strategy, the better your results will be. So I'm going to be looking at the price of the different assets on the 5-minute time frame, which means that the trade duration is going to be 10 minutes. So perfect. Let me go ahead and make this for 10. We only have about 15, so I'm going to be putting them on really quick and then having a look at what they're doing. If you're trading on a 10-minute time frame, your duration will be 20 minutes, and if you're trading 1 hour, then your duration will be 2 hours, just to make that clear. Alrighty, so let's get started. Nothing for the franc yen. This may be a good one right here, but you see how these breakouts were substantial? This breakout was substantial. This breakout was substantial, but here we have an example of what a bad trade looks like. Let me show you this, guys, for a sec. So you guys see this area right here in the Williams percentage R, this kind of chaos in the oversold area. This means this is one of the signals that you do not want to take. So this is what a poor signal looks like. The way that it's uncertain if it wants to break down. And the Williams percentage R is much more sensitive. You can see that the indicator depth, the volatility is much larger. Like the CCI has the lowest volatility, whereas the Williams percentage R has the highest volatility. And so this is the indicator that'll show you like, maybe that's a bad signal. Maybe that's not a signal that I want to, risk my money on. So for the Euro Aussie, not something that I do want to enter right now. Same thing, a little bit of chaos. What the chaos means is that maybe we could go higher. That's what that chaos means. Another layer that you can add to your trading is checking where the global trend is. Like if you're in an obvious downtrend like this, then obviously you want to be looking for sell trades, and you don't want to be confused by these little correctionary periods. Although trading intraday and on the 5-minute time frame, it gives you that kind of breadth that allows you to make money in any market, in any kind of direction of the trend. I'm just adding another layer of consistency to your trading when I give you this suggestion. So we're going to add the Asia comp to our watch list. Really, like this looks like it's going to continue down a little bit longer. Probably some sort of economic news concerning monetary policy. I bet you guys anything we had the Australian monetary policy this morning. Sounds about right. 7 in the morning. So you guys in chat, if there's on the 5-minute graph, if you guys find any signals on the 5-minute graph, go ahead and write it in chat. I'll have a look in a little bit. Bitcoin, look at this. Oh. This may be a good buy. Bitcoin is on the rise. And that's not what, if we close this 5-minute candle in the opposite direction, I'm going to take this trade. Yeah, this looks like a flag pattern. The correction was held, and it was held 2 days ago or 4 days ago. Bitcoin is a trade that I may want to take. CAD franc. What do we have for the CAD franc? Ooh, CAD franc may be a good setup. Guys, have a look at this. I don't like that it's in a bullish, yeah. I don't like that it's bullish, predominantly bullish. And again, this, could turn into a flag pattern. It could turn into a continuation. So CAD franc may not be a good option right now. CAD yen. Same thing that we're going against the major trend. EuroCAD though, I don't think we're going to get it though in the next 10 minutes. This is for you guys, so the EuroCAD may be a massive daily trend. Nope, this one definitely is not on our list. When it does, if you guys have enough patience to watch assets like that, when it does finish its move, it'll have a sizable correction for a few days. So if you want to write that down, you can definitely make some money on that currency. Euro pound, I do believe the euro is losing strength against a basket of currencies. I don't know, guys. Look at this. The euro pound, you may catch the euro pound really well off this trend line. Or it already broke it, and it's not a good idea. Alright, so euro yen. Looks like we may have missed the entry point for the euro yen already. I don't know. It looks like that support held. Ooh, I want to take this trade for sure. So you guys see how we are going in line with the global trend. Another flag pattern, support level held, 10 minutes, amount of $30, opening up in the up position. So the euro yen is our first trade for the day. This may also be a good one, guys. Have a look at this, the European NZD. It's going to have a similar picture to the Aussie. Yeah. So very, very bearish, not something I want to get into. But again, Bitcoin, Ethereum, I like it. Although I don't like the fact that Ethereum is continuing. We'll give Bitcoin just a few more minutes to figure out. Like if these two levels hold and we start above 4,650, excuse me, 46,500, definitely may be a good one. So back to the pound yen and ZD. Ooh, have a look at this. So here we are getting into the G7 crosses. This may be a trade that I want to take. Oh yeah, I mean, if it's already started, if we really started the correction for about half an hour, it held. Trade signals are in. All right, this will be the second trade. So pound NZD is our second trade for the day. We have the confirmation here. We have the big breakout. We have CCI. So we had the RSI confirm initially that we're going in, and then we had the Williams percentage R and CCI confirm that we're going in as well. Again, it's the financial markets. Anything can happen, but in my mind, that setup was pretty good. So I didn't really concentrate here for gold. It would have been a good buy here. For sure, down here would have been a great buy. Unfortunately, we did not get in there. Okay, I'll let that one go. I don't think we're going to have a good entry point for gold anytime soon. Although, I mean, selling from up here, this really bugs me though. Whenever we have this kind of two-sided volatility, it's a flip of the coin. You know, we never know. It could go a little bit higher just to knock your trade out and then reverse. That's what I mean by no go for me, just out of experience. So I like our cryptocurrencies, guys. I think crypto may be the last trade that we open, but I do want to see, you know, more signs that it's going to hold, right? It's the middle of the day. We're just a few minutes away from the US market open. And so definitely I'll finish up my 80%, go back to my watch list, and NZD-JPY. I think we're going to go against the massive, you know, bullish trend that all the currencies have been on against the Japanese yen. Nikkei 225, kind of flat. Could be, as you guys can see, there's a support level right here, but you see how we still haven't reached the support down here, and we haven't reached the support down here, so there's still lots of room, and it looks very bearish. I want to stay away from this one. So another CAD cross where the Canadian dollar is dominating. Guys, if you're looking for some momentum trades, keep watch on the Canadian dollar. It may be a trade that's going to go through the support levels. From all the currencies that we had to look at right now, the Canadian dollar has been very, very strong. Ooh, have a look at this. Again, not against the massive trend. See how this is the trend line? And once we break it, which we broke it right here, I mean, we might drop down to the trend line again down here and then continue up higher. So not a trade I want to do, but let's go ahead and have a look at Bitcoin. If Bitcoin held, it'll be the last trade that I open for the day. Did it hold? No, it didn't hold. It didn't hold, guys. I don't want to open up the trade. What did I have before Bitcoin? Yeah, that looks like it, guys. So 2 trades for the day. Let's see how they're doing so far. Ooh, this was the other one that I was looking at. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, currency pair cross. To the top side, we are buying from the bottom. This is a trade that I want to take. Perfect. There we go. So I believe that was 3 currency pairs that we have. So the Australian dollar is in profit. Pound NZD is in profit. Euro JPY. Ooh. Does not look like it's in profit. So I may want to re-enter the trade, guys, and I just want to outline where I want to enter the trade yet again. because I do believe that against the Japanese yen, the euro still remains a currency that has the favor in terms of, you know, devaluation, in terms of just their raw economic input, right? The European Union, I believe, consumes much more than the Japanese yen does. This sucks that this is my trade that's going to end in 3 minutes and 46 seconds. I mean, if we enter just a bit, I don't know. I think that this one may not go in our favor. The other two will, though. So perfect. Time for questions, guys. I'm going to wrap up the webinar with these trades. Let's go ahead and watch what's happening with the pound. All right. And keep in mind, guys, you can close trades predominantly, like, I mean, ahead of time. Like this trade, we may close ahead of time. I think that's what I'll do. Perfect. I don't think it's going to, we'll draw a line here just in case, but I did keep some of my money. And so our profit is still going to be higher. Yeah, I don't think that that's going to close, but I do think that there's still opportunity later for the day. And this is the trend line that we want to break when we want to rebuy. And keep in mind that you want to buy after we break out, and then we come back here. So this is where you want to buy, right? You don't want to buy. You don't want to have this kind of breakout and then buy from here, right? You want to wait until it drops down here and then buy higher. Perfect. I'm really glad that I closed that trade. You guys got a chance to see how to close trades ahead of time. Let me see if I can answer any of your guys' questions. Oh, so I see that actually a lot of your questions have been answered, guys. We're going to end the webinar on this note of positivity. If you guys have, what do you mean you need to have an edge in trading? You mentioned that last webinar. Okay, perfect. So what does edge mean? So I explained what the opposite of edge means. The opposite of edge is you're tired, you're under stress, you are taking short-term trades, you're using a new strategy. So everything that is not in your favor. Edge is that little bit of insight, that little bit of things that are going in your favor. You're athletic, you're well rested, you have experience in the markets, you maybe know a little bit of insight about what's going on. Those are all edge. There's you can actually, it's spelled edge right here. I'm gonna write it to you guys, EDGE. It's a trader's thing, right? There's no like concrete definition of edge, because edge is that kind of little bit extra that you have going for you in the markets that will result in you winning, right? Edge could be your discipline. Edge could be your love for trading and inability to give up. That is also considered edge. Edge could be your technological superiority. The fact that you guys are learning trading using Olymp Trade, that's edge. You have edge against over other people who went to a brokerage that doesn't have free educational content. That's edge. The fact that, Mustafa Nouri, the fact that you come to these webinars every day, the fact that you're a great student, the fact that you're academically built, that's edge. You have edge. That and what you want to do in life is you want to build upon that edge. Come on, what's going on with the Aussie NZD? I think this trade will go fine. I'm not going to close it ahead of time. I think it's just some market static, although, you know, anything can happen. Look at this massive bullish trend, or excuse me, bearish trend, massive bearish trend. And now both the trades went negative. So this is what the markets are about. This is, I mean, there's no guarantee. In order to make up these losses, as you guys can see, I still trade in profit. In order to make up these losses, I'm gonna have to make up some trades, close some positions in my portfolio, you know, make up some other trades. There's actually some really good stocks that you guys can trade, but we'll cut this webinar off at this point. You guys, if you have any other questions I may have missed, go ahead and leave your questions in the comments section after the video finishes, and I'll make sure to answer them if they're related to trading. All right, you guys, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for participating in the webinar. Together with Olymp Trade, we wish you guys good luck trading out there, and make sure to visit the VIP department next or this Thursday. Also, we have the likes of our social media pages. You guys make sure to sign up and check those out if you haven't done so yet, and subscribe to the channel so that you can get the make sure to ring the bell icon so that you can get a notification of when the streams go live. All right, thank you guys so much for your time, and see you all next time. Peace.